Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Old Charles today. We're tackling a question I get asked all the time. It's about a coin that nearly every single Australian has held in their hand, has probably spent, and has almost certainly found lurking in a jar or a drawer. The 1981 Australian 50-cent coin. I've had people message me with photos of this coin, excitedly asking, is it rare? Is it valuable? I heard the 1981 is special. So today, we're going on a deep dive. We're going to uncover the truth about this common, yet curiously sought-after coin. We'll talk about its history, its metal, its mintage numbers, and of course, we'll answer the million-dollar question, what is it really worth? To understand the 1981 50 cent, we have to go back a bit. Before 1966 and decimal currency, Australia had pounds, shillings, and pence. When we switched to dollars and cents, we needed a 50-cent coin. The first one, released in 1966, was a real treasure. It was round, it was 80% silver, and it was beautiful. But there was a problem. The price of silver skyrocketed. By 1969, the silver in that coin was worth more than 50 cents as bullion. So what did the Royal Australian Mint do? They pulled it from circulation. People started hoarding them, melting them down. It was a mess. So, for over a decade, from 1969 to 1980, Australia did not have a 50-cent coin in general circulation. Think about that. We had a 20-cent coin, but number 50 cent. The mint needed a solution. They needed a new 50-cent coin that was cost-effective to produce. Enter the coin we're discussing today. In 1980, the mint introduced a new 50-cent coin. It was no longer round. It was dodecagonal. That's 12-sided. And crucially, it was no longer silver. It was made of cupronickel, 75% copper, and 25% nickel. This made it immune to the fluctuations of the silver market. Now, let's get to the star of the show, the 1981 issue. The 1980 coin was the first of its kind, a new release, so mintage was decent. But in 1981, the mint went into overdrive. Take a look at that number. 48,390,000. Let me say that again. 48 million. To put that in perspective, the 1980 mintage was around 24 million. So the mint doubled the production in 1981. They were making up for lost time, ensuring that every cash register, every pocket, every piggy bank in the country had a steady supply. So, right off the bat, we have our first and most important clue. In the world of collecting, rarity is king. And the 1981 50-cent coin is the absolute opposite of rare. It is, by a huge margin, the most common coin of this type ever minted. Okay, so with that massive mintage in mind, let's talk value. If you have a standard, worn, circulated 1981 50-cent coin that you just pulled from your change, it is worth 50 cents. It is worth its face value. I'm sorry if that's disappointing, but it's the truth. The coin is still legal tender. You can still spend it at any shop. Because there are so many of them, there is no numismatic premium for a standard circulated example. But Alex, I hear you say, what about an uncirculated condition? Good question. Let's say you have a pristine, shiny 1981 coin that has never been spent, that came straight from a mint roll. What then? Even in brilliant uncirculated condition, the value is very low. Because so many people save them in rolls, the market is flooded. You might be able to sell a single uncirculated coin to a collector for maybe $1 or $2. And after postage and fees, you've probably lost money. A full mint roll of 25 coins might fetch you $15 to $25. But again, it's more of a novelty. Now, before you throw all your 1981 coins back into the jar in disgust, there are exceptions. This is where it gets interesting for collectors. We need to. It crooked? Is the design blurred or doubled? If so, you've found an interesting error. The 1981 50-cent coin teaches us a crucial lesson in numismatics. It's not always about the date. It's about the story, the mintage, the metal, and the mistakes. It's a piece of Australian history that helped fill the gap left by its silver predecessor, and for that, it's a fascinating coin to have, even if it's only worth its face value. The history of the Australian 50-cent coin is a story of economic pragmatism, technological change, and a nation defining its own identity through its currency. It can be broken down into several distinct eras. Before 1966, Australia used the British system of pounds, shillings, and pence. There was no direct equivalent to a 50-cent piece. The closest coin in size and roll was the crown, a large silver coin worth 5 shillings. The most famous Australian example is the 1937-38 crown, commemorating the coronation of King George VI. These large silver coins set a precedent for a substantial, high-value circulating piece. In 1966, Australia made the monumental shift to decimal currency. The new dollar system required a new set of coins, and the 50-cent piece was to be its flagship. The coin featured the magnificent Stuart Devlin design of the Australian coat of arms. On one side, the arms of the 6 original states are held up by the kangaroo and the emu. The obverse featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin. Specifications ****. It was a large, round coin. Composition ****, 80% silver, 20% copper, mass ****, 13.28 grams, diameter ****, 31.5 mm. The problem ****, this coin was a victim of its own success. It was introduced when the price of silver was fixed and low. However, in the late 1960s, global silver prices began to soar. By 1969, the intrinsic value of the silver in each coin exceeded its 50-cent face value. The consequence ****, this created a massive arbitrage opportunity. People began hoarding and even melting down the coins. The more valuable silver coins disappeared from circulation, while less valuable coins remained. Faced with this, the Royal Australian Mint had no choice but to demonetize and withdraw the round 50-cent coin from circulation. It was officially withdrawn on August 1, 1969. For over a decade, from 1969 to 1980, there was no 50-cent coin in general circulation in Australia. The denomination existed as a unit of account, but the physical coin was absent from people's pockets and cash registers. This period highlights the significant gap the coin left in the monetary system. The need for a physical 50-cent coin, combined with the lessons learned from the silver crisis, led to a complete redesign. It retained the stunning Stuart Devlin coat of arms design, ensuring visual continuity. 1. Shape ****. It became dodecagonal, 12-sided. This was a masterstroke. The unique shape made it easily distinguishable by touch from the round 20-cent and $1 coins, aiding the visually impaired and making vending machine identification simple. 2. Composition ****. It was now made of cupronickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel. This base metal composition meant its intrinsic value would always remain below its face value, preventing a repeat of the 1969 hoarding. 3. Size ****. It was slightly larger in diameter, 31.65 millimeters, but much lighter, 15.55 g, than its silver predecessor. The 1981 mintage boom ****, as discussed in the previous script, the 1981 issue saw an enormous mintage of over 48 million coins, double that of the 1980 issue. This was the Mint's concerted effort to flood the market and finally satiate the decade-long demand for the denomination, cementing its place as the most common coin of its type. Since its reintroduction, the 50-cent coin has become Australia's primary canvas for circulating commemorative coins. This has added a new layer to its history, creating rare and valuable subsets within the common series.